So yeah, I have another one. So some cherry tomatoes back here. My Mother's Day gift. It's being suffocated out. The star single, superstar Diantheus right there. And then more zinnias over here in the corner. And then here's my pot back there filled with just all different types of zinnias. I guess that's a dwarf sunflower growing in there. But if these two tomato plants need a tomato cage, I will get them a tomato cage. Okay, let me show you this before I forget, because I forgot in the last tour. I planted 14 okra. 1, 2, 3, 4 okra. 1, 2, 3, 4 okra are right here. So, I mean, I squeeze things in lots of spots. More borage. But yeah, I think that's a dwarf sunflower. There's zinnias in there. All kinds of things. Okay, and then onions right here. These are these hanging beans. I don't know the name offhand. I planted some more, but their germination's a little low on this. It's probably because I think the hose isn't reaching it all the way. So I will water these in better. But this is an old tomato cage for them to climb up. And I used to use for my rattlesnake pole beans. It's for these hanging beans. They're like yellow, like French string bean, but it needed a trellis, it said. So that's what's going back here in this little nook amongst the sunflowers. My mint is doing atrocious, my friends. It's the heat. So I'm going to probably cut this and then water it. A whole big thing of basil, Mr. Garden State Gardener. This is my Genovese basil. This is my tomato bed. Decided to do something new and do the tomatoes in the back. Plus side, it's not blocking the whole view of the rest of the garden. Number 2, this ends up in some shade. So a little slow going on tomatoes, but there are tomatoes all in there, as you can see. Lots of tomatoes going on. And I just keep the bottoms prunes. We're going to do the best we can with tomatoes this year. I'm not fussing and fiddling with tomatoes this year. That burnt me out last year, all those tomatoes that I grew. Ooh, Mr. Bumblebee. Didn't like that too much. Oops. Sorry, Mr. Bumblebee. Let me put this up here. But I'll have to come back out here. This part in the middle of the day is a little shady. So, I guess this doesn't want to work. Let's see. Okay, good enough for now. But yeah, all my tomatoes, they're prunes, as you can see. They have airflow. It's just name of the game. Sometimes you get blight for other reasons. Sometimes you get it because it's so stinking hot here. So yeah, there are tomatoes going. Like I said, as long as I can make some jars of sauce and some diced tomatoes this year, I think that's all that I really need from the tomatoes this year, and then everyone else can have them. And then behind me is the Zucchini Patch. But if I sit here in this area, this is the only shady spot I can get, in this whole garden. So I'm having issues with my phone. I asked my roommate if I could use his. So I'm going to use it to do the garden tour. I am in love with borage and the calendulas. I just absolutely love it. Y'all who sent me Cindy's Place, Pam, thank you. It's a new addition to my garden, and I love it. So yeah, tomatoes. I mean, you could see the sun up there, but this isn't always in full sun. I don't know if it's too many in there on my mint. As you know, if you've been here a while, it's always like a big snowball. Has a big gigantic cobweb on there. But I don't know. I think I'm just going to cut it down and drench it with the hose, which I'd have to drag all the way back here, and water those beans as well. And we'll see if that comes back. But normally my mint's really good. It was good at the beginning of the season, but then it got way too hot. Okay, so this full bed of tomatoes. This near the squash. There's peppers, tomatoes, and all the zucchini. And then Benjamin Bachelor button. Last year, y'all, I was calling these Benjamin buttons all season and nobody corrected me. So yeah, lots going on. Lots going on. Lots to harvest. So stay tuned for that video. As you can see, okay, so the sunflowers are being like a trap crop for these Japanese lanterns. But it's bringing in the bees. They're back there pollinating those flowers, which I'm pretty sure I was told that cucumber plant does not need any pollination. And then this fell yesterday, and I used these 2 sticks to get it up and tie it, but it's going to need it again. But you want a great pollinator, bumblebees, they love it. But it has little pricklies in it. It went all in my arm yesterday, and I have to get this enormous squash out of there. I have some zucchini to pick. And then this poor thing back here, I've just been picking off what's dead or got burnt. And let's see. I will give you an overview just of this back section. It is a jungle, but it's a beautiful jungle. I'm not trying to stress about this year's garden. What works, works. What doesn't, doesn't. And I am in love with that sunflower. The color, gorgeous. People were asking me if I ever found the Ring of Fire seeds. No, I did not. But I have one that almost looks like it. So I have to harvest peppers. Squash is doing fine. I have to harvest cabbage. I have to harvest cauliflower. Some might not be good and some might. The potatoes aren't ready yet. And then I'm going in with seeds to do fall already. See, here's my nemesis right here. Usually I'm pretty good. See that one? Looks like it opens. I might be able to get some of it out of there, but not the end piece opened. This is getting some from the heat. So I'm going to cut off the bad, save the good. You know how that goes. This one's got to come out today because that one's perfect, and so's that one. So over here you're going to see the good, the bad, the ugly. And save your marigolds for extra seeds next year, or you can use it in tea. Just don't forget to pluck them, because then they'll get bigger and bigger. So yeah, I was thinking about where I pull the cabbage out of, where the beets are, maybe going in with these smaller ones, or these, I'm not sure, transplanting them. So, and some cabbage is ready, some cabbage is not. And that is the status quo on the beans. Pick yourself up and figure it out. And I did, planted more beans. So it's starting to look like a garden. So sorry about the confusion on the blossom end rot. I had 3 pepper plants last year that had blossom end rot. And I did all my research. And I wanted to post that video because I never got around to it. Look at that gorgeous pepper. Never got around to it. So I posted that on, let me see, Wednesday from Miss Andell Homestead, who's dealing with blossom end rot. So it's not me, folks, but thanks for the concern. Some people are like, oh, you're really having a hard time to share with your garden. I mean, second year garden, just like Mr. Garden State Gardener said. So I guess this is kind of normal, but look at my tomato plants back there. Looking good, looking good. And here's the beans coming up. And I'm staying on top of that. I'll recheck that again later. And yep, I will be watching my beans from here on out for any more of those Mexican bean beetles. I wanted to show you, this is the sunflower that I think looks a little bit like the Ring of Fire. Just a little. But I absolutely didn't have any seeds, so that's not it, really. But gorgeousness going on. And that's the bigums. Told you I can grow some big sunflowers. So let me see if I'm forgetting anything. So the mint, I don't know. I might cut it back and maybe I'll drench it. Maybe it'll come back. But big tomatoes over here you can see. And this is what I have going on in my garden tour this week. As you can see, so lots to harvest. Stay tuned for that. You'll probably see the garden tour after I harvest, because I'm probably going to have to borrow my roommate's phone again. And yeah, so let's see if I left anything else out. I had to pull this out of the corner, this borage, was back there in the corner where that little gap is, because I'm going to go in with some lilies that my neighbor gave me to block that opening, because if you know, great. If you don't know, I deal with a kooky person over there that was taking pictures of me when I was sitting up on the patio with my back turned. Let's check some things in the pots. Wait, here's the other lilies that she gave me. So I was thinking about putting some of these back there so that they grow and block her craziness. It's always got to be one bad apple in every bunch, right? If I was to cut that mint, I think I'd be all right, because I have this mint up here, Gerber daisies, more basil. This is Tiny Tim. I grew this last year, tomato. I do have a borage up here. I think the birds dropped a seed, and it's in with my Gerber daisies, my red ones. This I never even got around to planting, but I picked this up. And this is called hot burrito pepper. So I still have to find a spot for this, but look at it. It's growing peppers just sitting there. More peppers. This is the fresh bite orange ones. In this pot, you can grow lots of things in pots. Basil, more zinnias. That's lemon basil looking all goofy. 2 trays filled up with some peat moss and soil to get ready to do more seeds. My other seeds are right here. I will show you this on this garden tour. I have it hidden under there because, you know, it's hot. So let me see. This is the red acre cabbage right here. Not all these are labeled properly. This is the mammoth rock cabbage. Mammoth red rock cabbage. This, I'm thinking it's a cucumber. Popped up out of nowhere. And I'm not sure. This could be broccoli. I'm thinking that this is broccoli right here. So I'm going to get this in soon. This is purple of Sicily cauliflower. This should have been the green cauliflower, but I don't know. Craziness, but I do have some fall plants going, so I can get them in once I harvest out my other ones. Let's see what else. Genovese basil, more tomatoes. Let's see what tomato this is. This is the little Sicily tomato with some basil in there and a little marigold. Lemon balm going to seed. Don't remember, sorry, but another tomato. It's calendula. I have to deadhead these so that it makes more flowers. And this is from the burn, from the sun. This is purple opal basil. I've been moving it. I've been taking it out of the sun. But there really is not a real shady spot right now. I'll have to move it. And I have some extra squashes going and some more, let me think, squashes and, just had a brain fart. I have it all over my garden and now I can't remember the name. Anyway, so I have that going. Another, this is the Napa Chardonnay tomato. This is, I think, the micro tomato, or the other one's micro tomato. This plant here, none of us know what it is. I planted the seeds last year, did nothing. Anyone knows what this plant is, please let me know sometime. Some things for grilling I have to cut up. Tea garden. This is my herb garden down there. And I will give you a tour another day on everything going on the side. But looking good. There's the dill going to seed. I'm planting dill. I'm planting cilantro now in the ground, so I have it for fall. So yeah, you might want to keep in mind throughout this garden tour about getting some seeds ready for fall. If you're planning on gardening in fall, which I am, because I am like out here already drenched. So that is what's going on in the garden, everyone. Lots going on. And I have lots of things to harvest. And I have to replant seeds in this tower. Some things I'll leave. Some things are coming out. We'll go to the chickens. Chickens are doing well. And my kahuna beans, and apparently a wax bean is over in the other green stalk vertical planter. My Come Salsa With Me garden's doing well. And yeah, I had to deadhead a lot of this. Harvest cauliflower, harvest some cabbages that are ready. The rest that aren't, I'm going to leave in. And I'm going to move some of my transplants out. And where that cabbage is back there, I'm not really sure what I'm going to put there yet. But yeah, as I said, when you grow a garden to grow food, always remember to grow some beautiful things. Because honestly, with everything that I've had going on, it makes me want to come in here because it's just pretty. And my little Adeline James, my granddaughter, she got the original picture of the sunflower when it first opened. This head's starting to look like it's going to die, but I'm going to save seeds from it. But it has another head, so how super cute. My little baby granddaughter planted that. So we got a little bit of my granddaughter in here. And yeah, so there you have it, everyone. The Brussels sprouts are all looking good. And just got to do what we got to do. Not Mother Nature. And it is hot here in Pennsylvania and zero rain. Kid you not. But on that note, that is this week's garden tour on my roommate's phone, because mine keeps overheating and shutting down and cutting videos up, which is what happened last year. But it is got awful hot. I don't know. His phone is behind my phone, obviously, so I don't know. I just asked him if I could borrow it, and so far it only shut off once. And the Scarlet Runner bean is gorgeous. And still keeping my eyes on the bug and not letting it get the best of me, and planted more beans with my neighbor. So shout out to Debbie. Thank you very much. And yeah, I guess I will see you on the next garden tour. Stay tuned for a really big harvest. Basil pesto video that I'm going to have coming out. Yo, y'all, I did just a quick, I was starving. It's a small little haul. I made some quick zucchini cakes. If you want to see that video, believe me, there's nothing fancy about it. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below if I should still post that, because I did it on the fly and I haven't made them in 2 years. And if so, and you want to see it, I will post it. I can't even get out of this sun here. But I love you all. Like, subscribe, share. That's just this part of the garden. Not showing the medicinal this time, or the kitchen herb garden, or the side garden. It's too hot. But I love you all. Stay cool, stay safe, drink plenty of liquids. And I will see you on the next garden tour in the next video, everyone. God bless.